Hey, 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 it's J Chatfield, Loving Yourself to Life. This is brought to you by Grace Guidance. And of course, again, here we are. I cannot not keep my thoughts in a place where I have to just wait and pull over. But I got to tell you this. I'm riding in the slow lane, by the way. Slow lane at 75. But yeah, I know someone's going to say this is dangerous. And it might be. But I got to tell you something. I was just listening to the video with the young lady and the guy that have been an internet couple, and they were, like had viral moments and things like that. And now I guess she wants to separate from him. I completely understand her, but let me tell you how I understand her. I was her, and that is why I created Loving Yourself to Life. When you are a parent, when you become a parent, and I love my children, and I've always said that if you have children that are all like stair-step children, mine aren't. I know people who have had 3 under 1. I had 3 under 4, and it was very challenging. I had one that he wasn't talking. I had a highly intelligent daughter, and then I had a baby, a brand new baby. So I had a lot of things going on in that time that I was trying to figure out with them. But most important, I was overwhelmed by myself. This has been the trick of the world, guys. I don't know if you guys really understand why we've been divided. And then division is something that continues to run thick. Everybody wants to go off and do their own thing, take their family to a remote part of the world and get away from family. When my mother-in-law came to visit us, she would stay with me 4 months. For 4 months, we would be in a 2-bedroom apartment, and my mother-in-law would stay with me and the babies, especially when I was pregnant and I had the baby. And then after, she would cook for me while I recovered from a C-section. It was a little hard. I was 34 years old when I had my last child. I always said I wish I would have started sooner, but honestly, I'm glad I didn't. I absolutely, like I said, I would have loved 5 or 6 children, but that's not for me to have naturally. And it wasn't good for me mentally either. And I'm going to say this because I did not have a hold on myself. No one teaches you how to take care of yourself in division. When I was growing up, there was a whole neighborhood around us. My aunt went to work. I stayed with the neighbor. I wasn't harmed in any type of fashion because these people were stand-up, do-right people. And her neighbor happened to be her sister-in-law. Okay? Village. Now, I would play with the people outside because I would play with the grandchildren of the neighbor because her daughter, after school and on weekends, they would come over to their mother's house. Village. These are still some of my friends today. Like, we consider each other family. Because we done seen everybody get a butt naked whooping in the middle of the street. So that brings you together real close, right? Now, I did not have a village around me for my children, nor did I trust anybody because we were living in a state that we had never been in before. Sure, there was people that that said that they'd keep them, but then they wanted to charge me $20. I lived on one income. I couldn't do it. But when my mother-in-law came, it was my husband and I went on dates. We were able to tend to our marriage. I was able to go and sit in my car without thinking I had to hurry up and get back in. I didn't have to make dinner. Like, it was a break from being my everyday self to me taking care of my mindset. Now, what this young lady is talking about, I definitely hear it. I definitely understand. I created my stay-at-home mom journal just for that reason, because we need to be kind to ourselves. There are a couple things that goes into being a stay-at-home mom, because my husband worked a lot, and then when he went into the fire academy, that was like the 1.5 years of hell for me, because I was so used to him being a hands-on father that when he could no longer mentally help me and physically help me, oh baby, I went down a really, really, really long dark path. But that was because the only community that I had was changing his career, because he saw that he wanted to do things better for the family by being home, on a firefighter schedule. But to get to that, it was a very grueling process. Like, he shouldn't even came home during that whole season, because it didn't help. Like, I would rather have him overseas and then come back when you're a firefighter. Like, that's how hard it was. I would pick fights with him. I'd tell him he was wrong, and he was like, I'm just out here trying to take care of the family. But it didn't matter. The kids' poop was wrong. They would cry wrong. I mean, it was just everything and everybody was under the raft of me not being able to take care of myself without a village. But then when I talk about it in the book, my new book that's coming out, Loving Yourself to Life, the practices to connecting to you, then I had to roll in a discipline. Not only did I have to discipline myself, I had to discipline my children to discipline themselves to me and what I was going through. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. Nap times had to be scheduled because I needed my quiet time. They went to bed 7:30 every day. So I had 2 hours to myself. And then I went to sleep. Because they would wake up at the butt crack of dawn. Like the sun was they was going outside helping the sun come up. That was my children. And I know some other people's children would do it. And then they were very active. Like I said, my oldest son, he was the Tasmanian angel in the house. And the fact that he couldn't talk, and then he was trying to communicate to me, he was frustrated and crying all the time. And then until we got that thing straight with speech therapy around 4 years old, okay, that was tough. And then I had a highly, highly intelligent daughter. And then my son, the youngest one, came out a master communicator at 9 months. I mean, I could look at this baby and that baby be like, oh, I know you got to go. You know what? I ain't going to even cry right now. I'm going to let you just sit there and I'm just going to look at you. I got pictures of him just like looking at watching me. Like, okay, mama, I know you ain't okay. And then when he got older, he would try to do stuff on his own. And then I would tell him like I would fall asleep because I was so depressed. I would fall asleep on the sofa and they'll be walking around. He done went in the refrigerator and made a mess, but it got him something to eat. But I knew that had to stop. I had to get better because I had to be better for them. I never regret having my children, but at some point when you're mentally exhausted because you need a village around you, and some people can do it without a village because I did, you have to be super intentional. Like super intentional. Like, this is what I'm doing because I am tired of feeling like crap every day. I'm feeling like crap every day. And I know this is not living, and that's why I said with Loving Yourself to Life, you have to make time for yourself. And I did it without a husband. I had a baby hanging on my boob too, darling. But he stopped nursing after about 6 months. Because he wanted real food, like real food. Like real food. He was a little chunkster. He was my biggest baby at 9.5 pounds. You know, and he eat to this day. He 10 today and it's on. So I really do understand, but I'm saying but those of you out there that see this, you're going to have to be intentional. It's going to hurt. It's just like when you start working out and you want to sculpt that new body and change your eating habits. You're going to have to get that laziness taste out of your mouth. I'm not calling you lazy. It's just, you think that it's going to fix itself, but you have to make the decision that I can't lay down like this. I got to get out of my head. I got to get out of my head and into this action. I got to start praying and meditating in the morning. I got to start journaling. I got to start doing these things for me as an outlet. I found a walking group. And I could talk about this all day because this was my life for about 4 years. And up until my daughter turned about 8 years old. And then I had another type crisis, but that was because I meant to do what I'm doing. I had to go through a couple of things to heal so I can tell people how to heal. And I do say I'm very good at it. One, because I've lived it. I'm not talking about stuff. And there were times I went through postpartum depression. Because, like I said, it's because I withdrew myself. I was in a place where I thought nobody could hear me and nobody could listen, and it would be best if me and my husband not be together. Then I could figure it out. That's the worst thing that you could do, because especially if he's trying and he's working. And nobody's done this before. Get you a mentor that's done and been through the things that you've been through. Get you a mentor. You guys could call us. I told my husband the other day, I said, man, we really need to be mentors, because moving across the state by ourselves and going into a real estate business and, just raising our children on one income. I was just talking to my daughter about it. Like, there's so many people out here that just is like, how I'm going to do it? I ain't going to have no children. That's too many children. You can't take care of those kids. Yes, you can. You have to make smart choices, and you have to be intentional, and you have to keep the priority the priority. If the priority is for you to be home with your children, that can never change. I've always said, if I take a job, my children have to come with me. Y'all have heard me say that, and they have. In this new stage of my life where I have a little bit more freedom, I could just walk out the door, and because I have a 15-year-old, a soon-to-be 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old, it is different. Absolutely different. It's a wonderful world, because I haven't been able to do that. Someone asked us to go out the other day, and we're like, what? My husband and I is like, what? Like, because we're just at the point where we could just leave our children at home. We're just at that point to where we just trust my daughter. Shoot, she better be glad we ain't got real aggressive, because she'll be an overnight person. She old enough. But we're not going to do that. My two sons, they have a lot of energy. She'll probably be calling us on the 24th hour, like, where y'all at? And that's when they're supposed to be sleeping. So I'm just this young lady. I don't know. You may never see this. I'm going to try to reach out to her, because I have a book. I can send her my journal. And it's trauma. It's so much trauma around this. Everything I hear, and I hear her crying out from the inside. It's not everybody and everything's fault. It's a new water tower going up. I've never seen so many right here. I've never seen so many water towers in a place, but I guess that's because of the water here. We didn't have those in Florida because of the aqueducts, I guess. But it's so interesting. Anyway, that was off subject. So even if you are in a stay-at-home, or just in a mental state to where everything ticks you off, you look to the right, you look to the left, you pissed off, the sky, dang it, why the sky gotta stay blue, pissed off? Like, why, send me an email. It's really, now is the time. And if you guys are thinking about forming a community, do that. We need to be together. We need each other. this is the time where we should be coming together to help each other and to lean on each other and to give each other hope and to build each other up. That divisional time is over. And this is what has happened to our mothers and our fathers out here. You need a community. You really do need a community. So this is Jay Chatfield. As always, do something for you that only you will love. Have a love yourself day.